Hello guys, welcome back to Coding Cafe. So in this video tutorial we will be working on our setup activity where we will get the profile image from a user, his username, his full name and his country. And once he provides these information, then a user will be a verified user. He will be able to use our this social networking app, which is just like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So let's do it. So go to the setup activity, okay, and you remembered that we have already cast these. As you remembered that in the previous tutorial we have already assigned IDs to these fields, okay, to all the input fields, the image and the button, and we have also initialized and cast this button on our setup activity. Now let's start working on it. And now what we're gonna do, that is we in this tutorial we will basically get the username, full name, country and the image, and then we will store it inside the Firebase database. Okay, so let's do it. So first of all we will get the username, full name and country name, then we will work on the image. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. So once the user click on the save information button, what we gonna do, we can simply set a click listener on it. So we can say .set on click listener, new on click listener, and inside this on click method we can call a method which we will be creating now, and let's call that method as save account setup information. Okay, this is the method which we are going to create, save account setup information. Let's create this method, and our method is created successfully. Okay, so now we can, inside this method we are going to get the username, full name and country from the input fields when the user write there. Okay, so we can say username, string username equals to, and the name of our fields are username. Okay, so we can say username dot get text dot to string, and then we can get the full name. So we can simply copy this and we will change it for the full name and for the country. Okay, so this is our full name, the user full name. Okay, and the input field name is, let me check the name, what's the name, full name. Okay, it is full name, so we can say full name. And the third one is country, so we can say country name. That's it. Now we have to add some validation on it, so we can say if text DOS is empty, if the username is, if the input field is empty, then we are going to notify the user then that is to write username. Please write your username. That's it. Now let's copy this and we will change it for the rest. Second one is full name, so we can say full name, and then we can say please write your full name. And then we have country. That's it. Now if all these three options are, if the user write this, then we gonna simply save the information inside the Firebase database. So here we can say first we need to create a reference, okay, because we have to store these information inside the Firebase database under the node users, which we will be creating now. So let's create a Firebase reference here. So we can say private Firebase auth. First we are going to create a Firebase auth, okay, because we will be needing the current user ID, okay, I mean the user who are going to create an account. So that's why we have to create a Firebase auth first, and then we will be needing a Firebase database, I mean the database reference, sorry, a reference to the database basically, okay. So we will call this as users ref, which means user reference, okay. Now come down here inside this onCreate method, we can say auth equals to Firebase auth dot get instance, and then we have to create a reference to the users node, I mean which we will be creating now, okay. So now we can say user reference equals to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference dot child. The child will be users, and for every user, as I told you, there will, under this user node, we need to, I mean to pass here the current user ID. So for every user there will be, as you know, that there is a unique ID inside our Firebase authentication. So we have to get that current user, I mean that unique user ID, and then we can store the user information easily, okay. So here we can simply say, let's first create a string type variable here. So we can say string, and let's call it current user ID, and then we can say current user ID equals to auth dot get current user dot get UID, and then we can say here dot child, and we can pass the current user ID here, okay. So now let's come here, and inside this else statement we can, now we are ready to save this information inside the Firebase database. So we can create a hash map here. So hash map, and let's call it user map, as we are storing the user information. So let's call it user map equals to new hash map, put a semicolon here, and with the help of this map we can now store information inside the Firebase database, okay. So we can say, user map dot put, and the first one will be our user name, okay, and the value is stored inside this variable called username, okay. So all we need is to pass this variable here. So we can say, so user name, which is this one, put a semicolon here, and let's copy paste this, okay, so that we can change it for the other option easily. So the first one is username, the second one will be full name, which is stored inside this full name variable, okay. So we can pass it here, and the third one is our country, okay, the user country, so it is stored inside this country variable, so we can pass it here, country. And the fourth one will be the status, I mean the profile status, okay. Just like a user will be a programmer, or a user will be a cook, or a user will be a software developer, and things like that, like people write about themselves, or you can see that on social networking sites, okay. So this will be the profile status. So yeah, we can call it as status status. So this will be the status. For now we will give it a default value, but once we let me tell you that once we complete this setup activity, and once we work on our home activity where we will be displaying all user posts, then we will create a setting activity, or yes, a setting activity where a user will edit his account information, like his username, his full name, and profile, where he can change his profile picture and all the information about a user. Okay, so from there he can use information, and also he can reset his password from the settings activity, which we will be creating in the upcoming tutorials. For now, let's assign a default value. So we can say, hey there, I am using poster social network developed by Coding Cafe. Okay, so this is our status, default status. Hey there, I am using poster social network developed by Coding Cafe. And after the status, we will set the gender. Okay, these things will also be on our settings activity, which we will be getting in the future upcoming, in the future video tutorials, in the upcoming video tutorials. So for now, we will just mark this as none. Okay, that is, gender is not selected yet. And then we have a date of birth. Okay, the birthday of a user, when he born. Okay, so date of birth, we will call it DOB, which means date of birth. Okay, and for now, we will assign it a null value. Okay, but we will work on it on our settings activity in the upcoming video tutorials. And the last one will be the relationship status, that is, a user is single or married or divorced or things like that. Okay, relationship status, yes, that's it. Now let's assign it a default value, which is none. And also let's assign a default value to date of birth, which will be none. Okay, which means it is not selected yet. So yeah, that's it. So now we have to store this information in the Firebase database. So we can say user ref dot update children, and all this information we are storing it by the map, which we call the user map. Okay, so we can simply pass that user map here. So user ref dot update children user map, and we can set a click listener on it, so that we can it can tell us that either the task is completed successfully or not. So we can say dot add on complete listener new on complete listener. So you can see that on complete method is created alongside with it. Make sure to put a semicolon here first, and then we can say here, if the task is successful, then we gonna tell the user that is setup activity. Okay, so we can tell the user your account is created successfully. Okay, which means that the user information is stored inside the Firebase database, and he is now ready to use this cool revolutionary social networking app, which is just like Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Okay, so this is the toast message. And yeah, let's instead of this length short, we can say toast dot length long. And now the next thing is to display the error, if any error occur. So we can say else string message equals to task.getException.getMessage, and let's display a message, and the toast message will be error occurred, and then we gonna display that error type. Okay, that is which type of error occur. So that's it. Now the most important thing is to, first of all, before we add a loading bar here, or you can say progress dialog here, let's go to the manifest file inside this Android manifest.xml. Click on it, and here we need to add internet permissions, okay, so that your app can work on Wi-Fi and also your mobile phone data network. Okay, so please make sure to add this. Okay, so yeah, let's add this. It is users permission, and from the permissions we can simply search for the internet, which is this one, android.permission.internet. so this is the permission for the internet, so make sure to add this permission. Okay, and then at the end you can simply close that. So this is our internet permission, so make sure to add this permission on inside this Android manifest.xml. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And now let's add a progress dialog. So instead of okay, let me check one more thing, which is okay, if the task is successful, that is if the information is saved, then the user account will be created successfully, and we have to send the user to the main activity now. So we can create here a method that is send user to main activity. And now let's create this method. Okay, so we call this method there, and we can now code for sending the user to the main activity. So here we can say intent. Okay, I think we have already created this method on our register activity, so let's copy the code from there and we will paste it here. Okay, send user to setup activity, and okay, it's this one. So you can simply copy this intent and close this now, and let's paste that code here. So let me tell you that we create an intent to send the user to the main activity. So new intent, and we are on the setup activity, so we can say setup activity dot this, and we want to send the user to the main activity, so we write here that is main activity dot class, and then the the validity, that is on pressing the back button the user will not be allowed to go back to the setup activity once the account is created. Okay, so that's it. Then we start the activity for the main intent and then finish. So yeah, it is fine. And now let's add a progress dialog. So the progress dialog also we created on our register activity. So for the time saving, let's copy this from here, which is private progress dialog, Control C, and now let's paste it here. So here we can say okay, add it, and now let's go again there, and we have to cast this. So come down here to the onCreate method, and let's paste that loading bar here too. And now inside the else statement you can simply copy this text from here, and now let's go to the setup activity, and above here we can simply paste that code. Okay, and let's change the title. So the title for it will be saving information, and the message will be please wait while we are registering, or I think that is good, that is please wait while we are creating your new account. Okay, and then we show the loading bar and then this, and now once the task is successful, which is this one, so once it is successful, then we can say loading bar dot dismiss, and also here we can say loading bar dot dismiss. So we are ready to check the app now. So let's check our app if it is working fine or not. So our app is running now, and you can see that it redirects us to the setup activity. So now we have to provide here the username. So my username is ALIZEB438, and it asks for full name. So my full name is Muhammad Ali, and then we have country. So let me write the country. let's say I am from USA, United States of America. So let's click on this save button, and it says your account is created successfully. And if I go to the Firebase database, okay, then you can see that the user's node is created successfully. If I expand this node, then there is a unique user ID. You can notice there that is BOJ, and if I go to the authentication, okay, then you can see that it is the unique user ID, which is my ID, okay. And then if I expand this, that under this unique user ID there is the country, which is USA, then date of birth, which is none, full name Muhammad Ali, gender, which is not selected yet, and then the relationship status, and status, which is here I am using posted social network, and then my username, which is Alize438. So yeah, it is working fine. I mean, it is awesome. So yeah, this is it for this video, and in the next video tutorial, as you know that we have still work on we have to get the profile image from a user. So once the user we will get the user profile image once a user click on this image view, or you can say this image button, this circular image view. So once the user click on it, then we will redirect the user to go to the gallery of his mobile phone, and from there he will select an image, and then we will store it inside the Firebase storage, and we will also store it inside the Firebase database. So in this way we can complete the setup activity successfully. So we will be working on it in the upcoming tutorial, and let me tell you that we will add the cropping functionality for getting the user profile image, okay. So yeah, this is it for this video, and if anyone is new to our channel, then please subscribe our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Please press the bell icon. So yeah, take care of yourself, and yeah, thumbs up for this video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.